I'd like to welcome everybody to the Sunday service of the People's Church of Divine Prophecy. Thank you all for choosing to spend such a beautiful Sunday here today. We have a great program today. First, I'd like to ask you to silence your cell phones unless you're medical or law enforcement personnel. There's restrooms down the hall, quick right, quick left. There's cold drinks in the fridge and hot drinks back through that back door there. So help yourself at any times to the service at any of those facilities. I'd like to ask Judy to light the candles symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit to start the service. We always have a joke about that. Usually in the winter times, it's the body that doesn't want to light. I'd like you to stand for the invocation and remain standing for the first hand, please. Dear Father God, we give thanks for this day here today. May we feel your presence, your love, and your hope. As we feel that within our own hearts and souls, may we be able to express that to those around us, both in thought, word, and deed. May we feel this presence moving us, guiding us, and inspiring us. May we spread this to all those that we meet. The next portion is a reading by the pastor. This is where I think of something that went on last week and try to put it into a spiritual perspective through a philosophy or thought that I'm trying to bring into my life and a spiritual discipline. And as I was sitting there thinking this morning about what to bring forward today in this moment, I thought about aspirations that we have at different stages in our lives. I'm intending to retire next year. And my thought is I keep having this image of getting slowed down and peaceful and not having a lot to do. And I read a passage in my handbook here this morning, a spiritual inspiration passage, and it said, expect good and spiritual things and fulfilling things right up to the minute you pass. And always expect these good things to come into your life continually. There's no point at which we get to a plateau where we've made it or where we should feel comfortable and rest on our laurels, as they say. We should always be expecting more blessings from God. And there was a country song that I heard the other day, and it was, I'm not settling for anything less than everything. And it's this lady talking about, I'm tired of shooting too low and settling for Mr. So-so. That's her chorus, you know. That's her chorus. I'm not settling for anything less than everything. And this is the attitude that we really should have for our lives. You don't have to settle for less than what you expect. You may only get less than what you expect, but then you have to put in the extra effort and move forward with it. There's always challenges. There's always things that we have to do to keep moving forward. And if you look at any of the successful people in the world, from musicians to politicians to business people, they don't get the silver bullet the first time. It's always more. You have to always put in more yourself. So when you pray to God or meditate to the higher being that you believe in, think of getting everything. And what will happen is that higher force, the Spirit, God's inspiration, will integrate your part into the plan. Your part, your effort will be integrated in there. You don't have to ask for just a little bit. Hey God, I swear if you give me this, I'll be fine. If you give me this, I'll do the rest. You know, that's God bargaining. Ask for everything. Ask for the moon. And your effort, your part will be integrated into that when the blessing comes to you to step forward and do it. Your part will be planned. It will be an integral part of the effort. So ask, don't settle for anything less than everything, my friends, spiritually or physically. Thank you for listening. The next portion of the service is the healing portion. I'd like to have Marty, Ann, and Judy come up and do the healing. The way this works is Ashkhen will guide us in a guided meditation, and during the meditation we'll hear this, which means the healing chairs become vacant. So if you want a healing, you don't have to keep watching the chairs. You can enjoy the meditation and get a contact healing and enjoy both parts of the service.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you all hear me back there?
Yes.
Let's get ready for the guided meditation. Find a comfortable position to sit, where there is no stress on your physical body. Feet straight on the ground, thumbs up in your laps. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. With your exhale, let go of all the thoughts that are occupying your mind. Any worries, any concerns you may have at this time. With your breath, just let it go for now. Bring your focus and your awareness to your breath. Engage in the mechanism of your breath. Feel your breath taking you deeper and deeper within to a very peaceful and quiet place within. Connect with this peaceful presence while you breathe. Repeat to yourself quietly, I am at peace within and with my surroundings. I am at peace within and with my surroundings. While you breathe, feel the peaceful sensations flowing throughout your body, your mind, your spirit. Feel the peacefulness of your consciousness and the quietness of your mind. For in this quietness, you feel wholeness and complete. Embrace this true state of your consciousness that is meant to be at peace always. while you are breathing peacefully. Feel your consciousness shifting higher, higher to your forehead. Roll your eyes up above your head. Become aware of a golden light that is up above your crown chakra. Connect with this golden light. There are no thoughts in this higher state of consciousness. It is a pure state of being. Connect with this golden presence. The heightened state of your awareness. Breathe in and breathe out. As you connect, see golden energies coming down from this golden light to your crown chakra. Become aware of your crown chakra and the color purple, violet. See this golden energy circulating around your crown chakra, healing and clearing the blockages from your mental body. Release and let go of all the thoughts, the beliefs that are limiting your highest potentials. Release and let go whatever is interfering with your spiritual growth. Release and let go thoughts of resentment, feel this golden energy expanding your awareness, shifting your perception, and connecting you with the universal intelligence, to the mind of God, infinite intelligence, awakening the divine wisdom and knowledge within your soul. Bring your awareness down to your heart chakra. And see the color green. Feel this golden energy circulating around your heart chakra, within and without, opening the blockages, healing, enabling you to give and receive love. Feel your heart chakra expanding and contracting with your breath. See this golden energy moving down to your lower body, down to your knees, to your feet. See it going out through the bottom of your feet and anchoring you to the earth. See yourself surrounded with a beautiful golden light in a big circle around your physical body. As you focus on your heart, feel the connection between your heart and your mind. Feel your connection to the creative mind that is expanding further and connecting you with the universal mind. See yourself as a thought that you once existed in the mind of God, as a perfect thought. See the thought evolving into light, and this light evolving into more lights. See yourself as a segment of this universal light. Become aware of the other lights that are all segments of the universal light, like beautiful stars that are spread throughout the universe. Each one of them shining brilliantly. It's a brilliant star. Each one of this light carrying the creativity and the perfection of the universal mind and intelligence. Remember your origin as you once existed in those higher dimensions of the universe. That light is within you while you are in your physical bodies. Become aware of that spark in your spirit. That light is within each one of us. See that light within your soul. And focus on the light that is within each one of us. Focus on the light. Focus on the highest good. Focus on the perfection that is within each soul and spirit. Focus on the beauty of each person's heart. Within each one of us, there is the love of God. Focus on your heart. And focus on the beauty and the love within each one of us. Have a loving heart, compassionate heart. Have a forgiving heart. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel the love that is in your heart growing bigger and wider. Connecting to the person next to you. See that love energy filling this room. And extending further out of this room. Just follow the energy that is moving gently, filling the earth's atmosphere. As it moves, it creates the vibrations of love everywhere. Envision Mother Earth in front of you. And see Mother Earth embraced with this loving energy. And people around the world are being touched and healed with this love energy. Just follow the energy that is extending to the ocean, to the animals, the plants, the minerals. Create this vision for a harmonious earth. Create your vision for a peaceful earth. And see all the people around the world are being healed and embraced with God's loving energy. As you once existed in the higher dimensions of the universe as light, you exist on earth at this time with the same consciousness that is connected to each one of us. Feel the connection with your surroundings. To become one within and with all. Always remember that we are one. We are one. We all came from a source, one source, the divine source of oneness. In consciousness, we are all one. Let these vibrations integrate deep in your consciousness. Feel your breath bringing you back.
The next portion of the service is the inspirational lecture. And today we have a visiting medium from the UK.
It's me putting this on.
Is it?
Too much energy.
You got to put it on or not?
Now you come
Now
up
you tell me.
with-
It was just a message to just be.
I see. Always trying to attract attention to himself.
No other way.
Eamonn Downey is someone who I've known for probably 15 to 20 years. We met and have had a somewhat of a relationship, a friendship, and teacher back and forth. And I used to attend a lot of his seminars, and I could always see him make a little face when I first sat down, you know. So, but over the years we got to, of course, my wife can sympathize with him too, so we have an odd way of getting a message given to me that I accept. So, but he's been one of my primary teachers for about 15 years. He walks his talk. He teaches all over the world and is really an insightful person when he's not joking around. So please hire Eamonn Downey.
Put it on that. Are you sure?
There we go. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I was a bit alarmed when the service first started. It was you, Judy. Where is she? It was when you were lighting that flame and those sleeves were going to she's going to go up like the 4th of July. That was skill, lady. Aye, aye, aye. Thank you, Steve, for the introduction. When he said, you know, that when we first met we had a relationship, I was worried. I'm glad he altered that with the word friendship. You know? Although I have to admit, and he knows it, that I'm desperately in love with his wife. She's been my baby for many, many, many years. One of my favourite quotes is by the 16th century German monk called Martin Luther. And he said, if I was to know that this world was to fall apart today and cease to be, I would still plant my apple tree. Would you call that an act of faith? Would you call that an act of belief, an act of knowing, an act of spiritual knowing? I guess it could be all those things, couldn't it? What I call it is a man who lives his life by experience and not by results. Because when we are living our lives by results, our senses are divided. And what happens is that the brain and the thought patterns within the brain then starts to separate from the power of the spirit to have the experience. And so what happens is then we just have a limited view to what it is we want from our life. Because results to me, they're very transient. Results are never guaranteed. And you know those things we often wish for, when we get them, they're often not what we initially perceive them to be. What I liked most about that quote, as I put it, was the experience of it. And because everything within our experiences has a richness. Everything. Good, bad, and indifferent. It has a richness. Because everything that you experience, either for yourself or with other people, the moment that we complete that particular experience, it's already evolving and transposing into our soul, our spiritual senses, as available power. Every experience, it's transposing within our soul as available power. And I want to bring this to your attention because I see too many people going about their lives acting like spiritually poor people, where really you're spiritually rich. You're stinking rich, to be honest. And what it is, as the lady, I forgot her name, who did the meditation, when she said that you move then beyond thought into that power of the higher consciousness, there are no thoughts. It really is just that power. But we've become so compulsive upon our thinking that we're expecting to be given words or visions. Yet everything we do begins its journey from a feeling and from a knowing. And so those are the senses when you're facing your life experiences is, you know, after we have completed that, what is it that my soul has experienced because of it? I'm saying this to you because my mother, who is in spirit now, she passed in 2001. And she taught me a valuable family lesson with that to do with results and expectations. she had a heck of a life with my dad. And, he had a drink problem. He kept us in poverty. He went off with women. He beat her up, all those kind of things. And when they had both passed, and I spoke to her spirit, and I said, why did you put up with it? They were married and divorced twice. And even when they divorced for the second time, she still went and lived with him. You know? And so when I said to her, why did you put up with that? And now, bear in mind, I wasn't speaking as Eamonn Downey, the international lecturer and what have you. I was speaking as her son, you know. And what she said to me, she said, mind your own business.
Ooh.
I said, what do you mean by that? He said, this was an agreement of the soul between your father and myself. I knew before we incarnated that he would be born into very difficult conditions, that he would live a loveless childhood, he would live a very hard childhood, and that I chose to be the only love in his life that would stand with him no matter what. See, I was looking for results. I was looking for results. But when I looked at the experience of it, there was so much more to be gained from it. First of all, my father taught me how not to be. Big lesson. You know, big lesson. And my mother taught me that to look beyond the conflicts of emotionalism in relationships. What is the soul experiencing because of that? And so she taught me a lot in her death, and so to speak. And because my mother has always been, her spirit has always been the constant reminder of just how valuable this life is, even in adversity. But I don't want to dwell on maybe things that seem a little bit negative, because my mother's spirit, incarnate and discarnate, is a work of art, and we all are a work of art. And what I wanted to bring to you this morning is a reminder of just how special and amazing we are. Just as a body, for instance, that we're made up of 75 trillion cells. 75 trillion cells. I mean, how long would it take to count that? And that 300 billion of those cells regenerate every day. Most of them are in the stomach area. You know? When you compare that 300 billion to the 400 billion stars in our galaxy, that's impressive, isn't it? And do you know that each of those cells, have their own little light? And they estimated that as those cells have their own little light, they actually add up to about a 10-watt bulb. And so we're amazing. So next time you think that, oh, I'm insignificant, 75, 000, 000, 000, 000, 000 cells you're made up of. And the other interesting fact is that we're made from star stuff. Do you know that? We are made of star stuff. Every element on this earth began its journey at the heart of a star. The atoms of our body is made from star stuff, whether it's carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. We are made of star stuff, which started its journey about 45 billion years ago. So next time you are out in the night sky, you get the most amazing night skies in this area. So when you look up, know that you and those stars are one. You're one. And can you see from that concept why so many people are fascinated with the night sky? Why people are fascinated with the worlds over in the sky world? Why people say they're watching over me? I know when I look into the sky, you know, into the night sky, that my loved one who's passed on, that they're looking at me, and why they believe that heaven is beyond the stars. I can see now why people believe that. And why, and I don't know if you do, but I do, when I look at the night sky, it talks to me. Does that happen to you? We're having a conversation. But what is so fascinating about the night sky, or about the sky world, is that it is a time bridge. It is a time bridge. You look at that night sky, and there are worlds that have ceased to exist. They are extinct, and yet there are new worlds, new stars that are starting to be born. So there's a time bridge all the time within that night sky, and that is because the shadow of the past always casts itself forwards, and the shadows of the future cast itself backwards. So there's your bridge. Every time you look at the night sky, you're bringing yourself energetically, anatomically, you're bringing yourself into the power of the now. And I'll conclude this with another message from my mother. And what it was is that every Christmas when she was physically here, she loved me to tune in to our loved ones in spirit, and when I would show up at her house in Christmas afternoon, all the family were there, and they would be agog waiting for their messages from loved ones. It's the only time of the year I would give them readings, and so they love that. And the first Christmas when, after my mum had passed away, so my siblings were anxious for what mum was going to say. So I waited. No mother. And I waited. No mother. So, you know, I've got a lot of my dad's Irish blood in me, so that's starting to rise here, and just say, where are you? You know, I said, I'm not going to leave this space until I'm aware of you. So I waited. And eventually, this amazing light, this amazing power started, if you like, to descend into my consciousness. And I knew immediately it was my mother. And if I could describe it, I would say it was celestial. That's what it felt like. And but I knew it was my mother. Now, here's he, Mr. No or Mr. Big Mouth, okay? And I said, why have you showed up like this? And but bear in mind, I'm still her son. You know, I'm not the international teacher. I'm still her son. And she said, this is who I am. I was Mary Downey long enough. And the lesson is, Eamonn, stop looking for me as I used to be. And reach to me and meet me of who I am now. There's a message to all of you. Do we sit and wait for our loved ones to show up from memory? Or do we have the courage and the openness to say, just as you are? And so there are many amazing experiences if we can just have that openness of spirit. And I know that in a moment when we do the demonstration, that your loved ones will do their best to really bring you up from your past, and sometimes how the past can really pull us about and hold us prisoner, versus how they can start to bring in the power of who they are as the evolving spirit and say, this is the gift I want you to have. Because the gift of spirit is always power. It's always power. Because they don't want us to be prisoners to our past. They want us to be the pioneers of our now. And that's the power that the wonderful meditation gave me. And the lovely ladies doing the healing, what they created here. And the funny guy with that American accent who was going to be with his inspirational words as well. I thank you all for creating that environment. Thank you.